Chapter 3. Morgan's determination was palpable as she arrived at the Celio headquarters. The large glass windows of the building reflected the morning sun, casting a warm glow on the sleek and modern facade. She stepped out of the sleek black car, her ensemble meticulously chosen. For the occasion, an all-black outfit, understated. A black cashmere silk turtleneck tucked into wide-legged high-waist trousers, paired with oversized sunglasses, a brown calfskin woven tote bag, and bold red lipstick. And it was her knowledge alone that her outfit cost over $7,000, as no labels were visible. She wanted to appear timeless, but set off alarm bells to those with a discerning eye to know the quiet luxury style she'd carefully curated. She had spent weeks online, gathering inspiration for the capsule collection, and she was determined to make a strong impression. Her black stilettos clicked against the polished marble floor, announcing her arrival with an authority that demanded attention. Inside, the reception area was contemporary, with minimalist decor and tasteful art pieces. Morgan was greeted by the team with friendly smiles and ushered into a spacious conference room on the 13th floor. She entered with a practiced smile, ready to charm the design executives. But as her eyes landed on the breakfast spread laid out on the table, her smile faltered, just for a second. The continental breakfast, though neatly presented, was far from the glamorous affair Morgan had envisioned. Pastries, bagels, and fresh fruit were arranged on silver platters, accompanied by pitchers of orange juice and coffee. It was functional, but utterly unremarkable. Definitely not something she could snap a photo of for her Instagram to show off her luxe lifestyle. No artfully arranged avocado toast, no colourful acai bowls, not even a splash of champagne to elevate the experience. She tried to mask her disappointment, but a flicker of displeasure crossed her face as she took in the modest selection. "Excuse me, do you have anything with European flour?" she asked someone she thought was an assistant. "Even the American gluten-free stuff doesn't sit well with me." The Celio team, led by LaToya, the head of marketing, and Max, the senior brand strategist, exchanged quick glances, sensing the undercurrent of dissatisfaction as they approached her, watching her scrunch her nose as Barbara, head of content, recommended the cheese Danish. They quickly approached her, smiling warmly. "Good morning, Morgan," LaToya began, her tone bright and welcoming as she attempted to steer the conversation away from the breakfast. "We're so glad you could join us today. We thought we'd start with a brief overview of the latest trends in the market." "Oh my gosh. Good morning," Morgan greeted, her voice a touch too bright as she forced her smile to stay in place. "So excited to be here today. And what a lovely setup, so cozy." Without waiting for a response, Morgan wrapped her arms around LaToya in a bear hug, pulling her into a tight squeeze, rubbing her back. "It's so lovely to finally meet you, LaToya." LaToya stiffened, clearly surprised by the unexpected embrace, her arms hovering awkwardly in the air before she tentatively patted Morgan's back. "Oh, good morning, Morgan," she managed, her tone polite but noticeably strained. Morgan released her with a wide grin. "I'm a hugger," she explained, as if that would clarify everything. "It's just how I am, so much warmer than a handshake, don't you think?" Before anyone could respond, Morgan turned her attention to Max. She made a beeline for him, her arms outstretched. "Max, so wonderful to meet you too," she said, and before he could protest, she enveloped him in another bear hug. Max's eyes widened as he stood there stiffly, unsure how to react. He glanced over at LaToya, who gave him a look that clearly said, "Just go with it." Yes, great to meet you as well, Morgan," Max replied, awkwardly patting her back in an attempt to mirror what LaToya had done. When Morgan finally let go, Max took a small step back, subtly putting some distance between them. "See, doesn't that feel better than just shaking hands?" Morgan asked, oblivious to the discomfort she had caused. I always say, start the day with a hug, and everything will go smoothly. The other members of the Cielo team looked on, exchanging uncertain glances, unsure if they were about to be hugged as well. Sensing the tension but mistaking it for shyness, Morgan clapped her hands together. Okay? Okay, I won't make you all suffer through hugs, she said with a playful laugh. But I just couldn't help myself with these two. Latoya cleared her throat. Now, Morgan, she began, trying to reset the mood, I'd like you to meet Rachel. She's our head of the trend department, and she's going to give you a brief overview of the latest trends in the market. Rachel stood up with a warm smile, her demeanour friendly but professional. She extended a hand to Morgan, who shook it with a bit too much enthusiasm. It's such a pleasure to meet you, Rachel, Morgan said, her tone slightly over the top. I'm really looking forward to hearing all about the trends. Rachel nodded appreciatively. Thank you, Morgan. I'm excited to share our latest insights. So, we've been noticing a resurgence of vintage styles mixed with modern elements, especially in streetwear. There's also been a lot of buzz around sustainable fabrics. Oh, absolutely, trends, Morgan cut in, trying to refocus her attention on the task at hand. I actually have something really exciting to show you all, she said. I've put together a presentation that I think you're going to love. Max opened his mouth to steer back to their agenda, but Morgan was already moving to the table, her eagerness cutting off any further discussion. She took her seat at the head of the table, her confident demeanour underscored by the dairy-free, non-fat latte she sipped. Morgan had come prepared, not just to participate, but to dominate. She set her bag down on the long, sleek table and pulled out her laptop, quickly connecting it to the projector. The team of designers, marketers, and executives from Cielo were already seated, their expressions a mix of curiosity and polite interest. Morgan could feel their eyes on her, waiting to see what she would bring to the table. As the lights dimmed and her presentation appeared on the screen, Morgan took a deep breath, ready to unleash her vision. Good morning, everyone, she began, her voice smooth and commanding. I'm so excited to share with you my vision for the upcoming capsule collection. This collection is not just about clothing, it's about empowering women to take charge, to embrace their inner girl boss, and to redefine what it means to be a modern woman. She clicked to the next slide, which showcased a series of runway images featuring minimalist designs, clean lines, monochromatic palettes, and structured silhouettes. As you can see, minimalism was part of the past, but very much is the future. It's sleek, it's powerful, and it exudes confidence. These are the qualities that every woman should feel when she puts on a piece from our collection. Morgan's eyes scanned the room, noting the nods of agreement from a few of the team members. She pressed on, her voice gaining momentum. This collection, she continued, is for the woman who isn't afraid to take up space. The woman who walks into a room and commands respect. We're talking about power suits that make you feel like you can conquer the world, about pieces that are versatile yet timeless. She clicked to the next slide, which featured the colour palette, stark black and white, with a single touch of grey. The colour palette is simple, but it's powerful. Black and white are the ultimate power colours. They're bold, they're assertive, and they never go out of style. The next slide was a mood board filled with iconic images from the 90s. Gwyneth Paltrow, in her minimalist best, was front and centre in a sleek black slip dress. Next to her was Carolyn Bessette Kennedy, the epitome of understated elegance in a white button-up shirt paired with tailored trousers. Interspersed were shots from mid to late 90s Ralph Lauren campaigns, models in crisp white shirts, camel coats, and classic black blazers. As you can see, Morgan continued, gesturing to the screen, we are long overdue for a return to this kind of fashion. The industry has become too cluttered, too loud. It's time to strip everything back, to focus on the essentials. We need to bring back the kind of style that doesn't just follow trends but transcends them. This collection is for the modern woman who values quality over quantity, who knows that less truly is more. Now, let's talk about the pieces themselves. First, we have the white bodysuit. It's sleek, it's form-fitting, and it can be paired with anything. This is a must-have for any woman's wardrobe. She moved to the next image, a grey button-up shirt. Next, the grey button-up. It's a modern take on a classic. Perfect for the office or a night out, versatility is key. Then came the leather pants. These black leather pants are edgy yet sophisticated. They say, I'm in control, and I know what I want. As Morgan reached the midway point of her presentation, she couldn't resist the urge to drive home what she believed was the true essence of her collection. With a dramatic pause, she looked out at the Cielo team, her eyes gleaming with passion. Let's talk about what this collection really means, she began, her voice taking on a fervent tone. This isn't just about clothes. This is about women's empowerment. We're in an era where women are no longer waiting for permission to take up space. We're not asking for a seat at the table. We're building our own tables. And this collection is the uniform for the modern boss babe. She clicked to another slide. This one filled with bold, capitalized words: empowerment, strength, confidence. This is about power dressing in the truest sense of the term, Morgan continued, her hands gesturing emphatically. It's about giving women the tools they need to conquer their day, whether they're closing deals in the boardroom, leading their teams, or just owning every room they walk into. She was on a roll now, completely unaware of the increasingly perplexed expressions around the room. Think about it, she said, leaning forward as if sharing a secret. When a woman puts on that white bodysuit or that perfectly tailored black pencil skirt, she's not just getting dressed, she's preparing for battle. She's stepping into her power. And that's what this collection is all about. It's a celebration of the boss babe spirit, of the woman who knows what she wants and isn't afraid to go after it. She continued her presentation, showing a slide with a black pencil skirt. A black pencil skirt is essential. It's powerful, it's professional, and it's flattering on every body type. You can wear it out for drinks with your girlfriends or a business dinner. Met with silence, Morgan decided to double down. She could sense that this was her moment to truly leave a mark, to make the Cielo team see just how vital her vision was. She cleared her throat, a self-assured smile spreading across her face as she began her next impassioned spiel. And let's not forget the statistics, she said, her tone shifting to one of serious gravitas. Did you know that women now make up nearly half of the global workforce? That's millions of women stepping into roles of leadership, innovation, and influence every single day. Yet, what do they have to wear? More of the same old tired pieces that don't reflect the power and confidence they exude. This collection is about changing that narrative. She clicked to a slide displaying a graph, colourful, though somewhat vague in its data, meant to highlight the rise of women in leadership roles. We're talking about real change here, Morgan continued, warming up to her new theme. These are women who are balancing careers, families, and personal aspirations with the grace and strength of true leaders. They're out there breaking glass ceilings, one power move at a time, and they need a wardrobe that reflects that. We need to give them what they deserve, clothes that aren't just stylish, but are also a symbol of their success. Her voice grew more animated, her gestures more expansive, as she threw in every buzzword she could think of. Think about the girl boss movement, she said, nearly breathless with excitement. It's not just a trend, it's a revolution. Women are no longer just participating in the workforce, they're dominating it. They're starting businesses, leading Fortune 500 companies, running for office, changing the world in ways we've never seen before. And with that comes the need for a new kind of wardrobe, one that says, I'm here, I'm in charge, and I'm not backing down. Finally, she showcased a black tote bag. And of course, the black tote bag. It's large enough to carry everything you need, but sleek enough to go with any outfit. This bag is the embodiment of the modern woman, practical, but always stylish. The Cielo team sat in stunned silence, scribbling down notes, their expressions carefully neutral. She saw their silence as agreement, their focused gazes as admiration. And now, she said, her voice swelling with excitement, for the pièce de résistance. She clicked to the final slide, which displayed a glossy, high-fashion photo of herself from a previous photo shoot. In the photo, she stood tall, her gaze fierce, dressed in a tailored black suit that hugged her figure perfectly. Above her image, in bold white letters, were the words M by Morgan. This collection, Morgan declared, will be called M by Morgan. This is a renaissance, a return to the era of true minimalism, a time when fashion was about simplicity, elegance, and the power of the basics. It's not just a collection, it's a movement. It's about redefining what it means to be a woman in today's world, strong, independent, and unapologetically herself. The modern woman can be not just a housewife or soccer mom, but a CEO, a power player. And that's why she needs this collection. The lights flickered on, illuminating the conference room in a harsh, almost clinical brightness. For a moment, the Cielo team sat in a stunned silence, processing everything that had just unfolded. Morgan stood at the front of the room, beaming with pride, her chest puffed out slightly as she took in what she imagined was the awed reverence of the designers before. The silence stretched for a beat too long, and then, out of sheer politeness and a desire to fill the awkward void, Carlo, one of the head designers, started to clap. The sound was hesitant at first, but he quickly amplified it, forcing enthusiasm into the gesture. The rest of the team, caught off guard, hurriedly joined in, their claps echoing hollowly off the walls. That was wonderful, Morgan, Carlo said, his voice smooth, professional, and utterly non-committal. His smile was practiced, the kind reserved for clients whose ideas one would never actually implement. Really, just fantastic. Yes, absolutely fabulous, chimed in Rachel, her tone bright and just a tad too eager. You've really captured something unique here. Jenny, another designer, nodded vigorously, her smile stretched a little too wide. So inspiring, the way you tied everything together with the empowerment message. It's just so on point. Morgan's smile grew, her eyes shining with the validation she believed she had just received. I knew this collection would resonate with you. It's really about creating something that speaks to the modern woman, you know? Absolutely, Mark added, his voice laced with just the right amount of deference. You've got such a clear vision, Morgan. It's going to be amazing. The team exchanged subtle glances, their forced cheerfulness barely masking their collective relief that the presentation was over. They could all sense each other's underlying tension, a silent agreement that it was time for Morgan to leave so they could begin the real work of salvaging what they could from her ideas. Carlo took the lead again, stepping forward slightly. We're really excited to take your ideas and run with them, he said, careful to choose his words. The direction you've given us is going to be incredibly helpful as we start fleshing out the collection. Rachel quickly jumped in, eager to keep the momentum going. Absolutely. We'll get started on refining everything and pulling together the best possible designs that reflect your vision, Morgan nodded, clearly satisfied with herself, as if she were already imagining her name in lights, her collection flying off the shelves. Well, she said, gathering her things with a flourish, I'm glad you all see the potential here. I have a feeling this is going to be big, really big. The team smiled and nodded in agreement, continuing to stroke her ego with a few more enthusiastic compliments as she packed up her presentation materials. As Morgan turned to leave, Carlo stepped forward, opening the door for her with a polite, almost exaggerated flourish. "Thank you so much for your time, Morgan," he said warmly. "We'll be in touch very soon." "Looking forward to it," Morgan replied, her tone cheerful, as she swept out of the room, her confidence palpable. The conference room, she felt a renewed sense of purpose. "You nailed it, girl," she thought. "This is what's going to make you a household name. Everyone's going to be wearing M by Morgan." As soon as the door clicked shut behind Morgan, the room was enveloped in an awkward silence. The Celio team sat frozen for a moment, as if they couldn't quite believe what had just transpired. Then, almost in unison, they exchanged glances, their expressions a mix of disbelief, amusement, and exasperation. Rachel was the first to break the silence. She let out a deep, dramatic sigh, leaning back in her chair and rubbing her temples. "Okay, is everyone else thinking what I'm thinking? Or did we just get steamrolled by a delusional D-list actress who thinks she's the second coming of Coco Chanel?" That was all it took. The room erupted into laughter, the kind of laughter that had been desperately held back for the duration of Morgan's presentation. "Who does she think she is?" One of the junior designers, Jenny, managed to gasp between fits of giggles. Seriously, did she really think she was going to walk in here and reinvent the wheel with black and white? Like, I'm pretty sure I've seen more revolutionary collections at Zara. Another team member, Mark, shook his head, still chuckling. And what was that whole spiel about girl bosses and power dressing? I mean, she just threw in every buzzword she could think of like she was reciting a script. That was pure cringe. Rachel smirked, still trying to process what she had just witnessed. "I swear, if I hear the phrase boss babe one more time, I'm going to lose it." She said it like 5 times, each more self-important than the last. It's like she thought she was imparting some deep wisdom we've all somehow missed. "Did you see those mood boards?" Another designer, Luke, chimed in, his voice dripping with sarcasm. "Oh wow, Gwyneth Paltrow in a slip dress. Carolyn Bessette Kennedy in a white button-up. Stop the presses, people. We're bringing back minimalism like it hasn't been in every store for the past decade." And that final slide, Jenny added, wiping tears of laughter from her eyes. Her, in that suit, with the big M by Morgan logo? I almost lost it right there. I mean, who names a collection after themselves when they're barely known outside of a couple of cable TV shows? She really thought she was revolutionizing fashion, Mark said, still shaking his head in disbelief. Leather pants? A grey button-up? A black pencil skirt? Like, wow, no one's ever seen those before, Rachel snorted. And the tote bag. A black tote bag. Because clearly, the world has been desperately waiting for a plain black tote bag designed by Morgan Smith. The laughter continued, each team member taking turns to mock some aspect of Morgan's presentation, their comments growing more biting and outrageous. Imagine the boardroom when they hear about this, Luke mused. They'll be like, "Oh, great, so we're putting out a line of basics with buzzwords slapped on them. How innovative." "She came in here acting like she was delivering the gospel," Rachel said, still incredulous. "As if we've never thought about minimalism or power dressing before. She's clearly in her own little world. And let's not forget," Max added, "this collection is supposed to be about empowering women. Because, apparently, nothing says empowerment like a white bodysuit." The team howled with laughter again, the absurdity of the whole situation only getting funnier with each passing moment. Latoya finally stood up, wiping tears from her eyes, and composed herself. Okay, we need to pull it together. We've got a lot of damage control to do. But seriously, who let her think she could just come in here and railroad the entire meeting like that? We've got our work cut out for us. The team slowly began to calm down, though occasional snickers still broke out as they gathered their notes and prepared to figure out how to salvage the collection. Well, Rachel said, gathering her things, at least we'll have a good story to tell at the holiday party this year. Remember that time Morgan Smith tried to revolutionize fashion with black and white? The team chuckled as they filed out of the conference room, already mentally reworking the ideas they would present to the higher-ups. As they walked down the hallway, the absurdity of Morgan's grand vision was still fresh in their minds, ensuring that it would be the office joke for weeks to come. Morgan walked onto the set of ties with a bounce in her step, her mood elevated from the successful meeting earlier in the day. The lights and camera equipment scattered across the studio floor seemed to sparkle with renewed energy for her. Acting had always been her passion, and she felt incredibly fortunate to be doing something she loved, especially with her father's legacy in the industry. His work as a cameraman on TV shows and movies had ignited her own love for the craft, and every day on set was a reminder of that deep-rooted connection. As she settled into her dressing room, her phone buzzed with an email notification from Jonathan. Her heart skipped a beat as she opened it, eager to see feedback from the Celio team. The email was polite, but carried the news she had been anticipating. The design team enjoyed the meeting and is excited about the project, Jonathan's message read. However, they have several adjustments they'd like to discuss to better align the collection with their brand's existing strategies. Let's schedule a follow-up meeting to go over these adjustments. The word adjustments immediately caught her attention, and she felt a pang of irritation. She had poured so much of herself into her ideas, and the thought of altering them felt like a personal compromise. Still, she shook off her frustration. After all, it was part of the process, and she had to be flexible to make the collaboration work. Morgan set her phone aside and focused on the excitement of her evening ahead. She had a date night planned with Rick, and she was looking forward to relaxing and enjoying his company. They were heading to an upscale restaurant in Boston, a place known for its elegant atmosphere and gourmet cuisine. It was a rare chance for them to unwind and savor each other's presence amidst their busy lives. Later that evening, Morgan arrived at the restaurant, dressed in a sophisticated navy blue dress that complemented her chic sense of style. Rick was already at their table, his face lighting up when he saw her. The warmth between them was palpable, and Morgan felt a wave of contentment as she slid into the seat across from him. Dinner started off beautifully. The restaurant's ambience was perfect, with soft lighting and a live jazz band playing in the background. They talked about their days, laughed over shared memories, and enjoyed the exquisite meal. For a while, the pressures of work and the uncertainties of the future seemed to melt away. As they finished their main course and moved on to dessert, Rick looked at Morgan with a hint of longing in his eyes. You know, I've been wanting to post a photo of us together. It feels like we never get to share our moments online, and I think it'd be nice to show people a bit of our life. Morgan hesitated, her fingers tracing the rim of her wine glass. I know, Rick. It's just, I'm really private about our relationship. I want to keep it just for us. I know it might seem odd, but it's important to me. Rick's expression softened, and he reached across the table to take her hand. I get it. I really do. I just wanted to make sure you knew how much I appreciate these moments with you, and I guess I just wanted to share a bit of that with others. Morgan squeezed his hand gently. I appreciate that, and I love that you want to share it. It's just that for now, I think keeping our relationship private helps me stay grounded and focused. I hope you understand. Rick nodded, his eyes filled with understanding. Of course, Morgan. I respect your wishes, and I'm glad we have these moments together, just the two of us. Months had flown by since Morgan's initial meeting with the Celio team. Her capsule collection was nearing its debut, and today was the day she'd finally get to see her designs come to life. Julia had agreed to accompany her to the showroom for the reveal. It was a crisp, clear morning in Boston, and the anticipation was palpable. The showroom itself was sleek and modern, with pristine white walls and carefully arranged displays showcasing the latest collections. The air was filled with a sense of excitement and creativity as the two women walked through the space. One of the PR department heads, Aria, greeted them warmly and led them to the section reserved for Morgan's capsule collection. As the curtains were drawn back, Morgan's eyes widened in awe. Before her stood the tangible results of months of hard work, brainstorming and adjustments. The first piece was a stunning little black dress, elegantly designed with a flattering cut that accentuated the waist. The fabric shimmered under the showroom lights, and Morgan could immediately envision herself wearing it for a sophisticated date night. The silhouette was classic yet contemporary, perfectly capturing her vision of timeless elegance. Alongside these, there was a crisp white turtleneck bodysuit, which exuded understated elegance and could be dressed up or down. The final pieces were a chic black winter button-up coat and black leather pants, both of which had been carefully designed to balance sophistication with practicality. Julia glanced at Morgan with a look of admiration. These leather pants are divine, so edgy and chic, and that coat is perfect for winter. You've really nailed the mix of modern and classic. Morgan's heart swelled with satisfaction. Seeing everything come together like this is incredible. I'm so grateful to the team for making my vision a reality. Aria smiled, clearly pleased with the outcome. We're delighted with how everything has turned out, Morgan. It's been a pleasure working with you, and we're excited to see how the collection is received. As the two women continued to explore the collection, Morgan felt a deep sense of accomplishment. Each piece represented not just her personal style, but also the collaboration and creativity that had gone into the project. Julia nudged Morgan gently. This is just the beginning. I'm sure everyone's going to be wearing these. Morgan nodded, her eyes shining with optimism. I hope so. It's been a journey, but seeing it all come together like this makes it all worth it. The day continued with a mixture of excitement and reflection. Morgan knew that the launch of her capsule collection was a significant milestone, but it was also just one step in her ongoing journey. With Julia by her side and the support of the Celio team, she was ready to embrace whatever came next with confidence and enthusiasm. Morgan sat at her sleek, minimalist desk in her Boston apartment, the soft glow of her laptop screen illuminating her face as she typed. The quiet hum of the city outside provided a soothing backdrop as she worked on her latest blog article for the Teeny. Today's piece was especially close to her heart. It was about her new capsule collection with Celio and the empowering message she hoped it would convey. Her fingers flew over the keyboard, crafting sentences that were both heartfelt and motivational. The article began with a reflection on her journey, from the initial brainstorming sessions to seeing her designs come to life. Morgan wanted her readers to understand not just the technical aspects of the collection, but also the passion and purpose behind it. She also included behind-the-scenes photos from the glossy photo shoot they recently had, where she modelled everything. Empowering Ambition, Embracing the Capsule Collection, by Morgan Smith. It's often said that ambition is the fuel that drives us forward, and I couldn't agree more. Today, I'm thrilled to share something very special with you, my capsule collection with Celio. M by Morgan. This project has been a labour of love, a testament to the belief that women should never shy away from pursuing their dreams and using their voices to make an impact. Each piece in this collection was designed with the modern woman in mind. someone who balances a busy professional life with a desire to express her individuality and strength. From the elegant little black dress to the versatile grey button-up shirt, every item reflects the notion that style should be both empowering and accessible. But this collection represents more than just fashion. It's a celebration of what happens when we dare to be ambitious and trust in our own visions. I hope these pieces inspire you to embrace your own aspirations, to speak up, and to wear your confidence proudly. Remember, every step you take towards your goals is a step towards making your voice heard and your dreams realized. Fashion is just one way to express that power, but it's a powerful one. Let's use it to remind ourselves and each other that we are capable of incredible things. Morgan read over her words, feeling a surge of pride and anticipation. She hoped this article would resonate with her audience and encourage them to embrace their own ambitions. As she prepared to hit publish, her phone buzzed with a notification from Julia. The message was brief but exciting. Morning segment on New York Live is confirmed. They're showcasing your collection. We're going to make waves. Morgan's heart raced with excitement. This was a golden opportunity to reach a wider audience and showcase her collection on a major platform. She quickly responded to Julia with a message of gratitude and excitement, then turned her attention back to her blog. With a final click, the article was live on the Tumi. Morgan felt a deep sense of accomplishment and satisfaction as she envisioned her words reaching readers everywhere. Morgan and Julia flew to New York City, ready to make a splash on national television. The studio was bustling with activity as they arrived, and Morgan felt a mix of nerves and exhilaration. This was her moment to shine, to share her collection with a broader audience, and to spread her message of empowerment. Julia would be on first, talking about spring trends, and then introducing Morgan. As she waited backstage, she reviewed her talking points and mentally rehearsed her key messages. When it was finally her turn to step into the spotlight, she took a deep breath and walked out with confidence. "Morgan, we're so excited to have you on the show today," exclaimed Nancy, the seasoned host with the perfect blowout and an infectious smile, as she approached Morgan with open arms. "This collection is all anyone's talking about since Celio announced they'd be working with you." "Thank you so much, Nancy. I'm thrilled to be here and share this with everyone," Morgan replied, matching her enthusiasm. She'd practiced that smile in the mirror this morning, a warm, confident grin that would make the audience feel like they were in on something special. "Oh my gosh, let me just say it's such an honor to be here. My parents and I used to watch your news segments every night together, our little winding down ritual after a long day. So, it's really a full circle moment for me to be here." Nancy thanked her as they settled into their chairs as the cameras began rolling and the bright lights warmed Morgan's skin. She took a deep breath, reminding herself to stay on message. This was her moment to shine, and she was determined to make it count. "So, Morgan," Nancy began, "you've created this incredible capsule collection with one of the biggest retailers in the country. What inspired you to dive into fashion?" Morgan leaned forward slightly, as if sharing a secret. "You know, Nancy, I've always believed that fashion is more than just clothes. It's about how you feel when you walk out the door. When I was designing this collection, I wanted to create pieces that empower women, clothing that makes them feel confident, strong, and ready to conquer whatever comes their way." She paused for effect, watching as Nancy nodded along, clearly impressed. "These are pieces you can wear to a big meeting at work, and then head straight to dinner with friends," Morgan continued, her voice steady and enthusiastic. "It's all about versatility and making sure that every woman, no matter her size or style, feels like the best version of herself." The camera panned to a model strutting across the set, showcasing a grey button-up shirt paired with black leather pants and high heels. It was sleek, tailored, and undeniably powerful look. Morgan watched proudly as the co-hosts and audience said, "Ooh," over the details, the cinched waist, the luxurious fabric, the effortless elegance. And Julia, Nancy said, "What are some ways we can style this collection? Give us your fabulous fashion tips." Julia turned toward the models, her eyes flicking over the outfits with a practiced gaze. "So, for the black dress, I'd say keep it simple for the office, pair it with nude heels, a blazer, and a delicate necklace. You can even roll the sleeves up for more of a girl boss look. But if you're heading out after work, swap the blazer for something metallic, maybe a statement clutch, and add a bold lip. It's all about those small changes that can take a look from day to night effortlessly." Morgan nodded along, adding, "Exactly. That's what M by Morgan is all about, empowering women through their wardrobe. You shouldn't have to overhaul your outfit just because your plans change. It's about feeling confident in every situation." Julia moved on to the jumpsuit, her eyes lighting up. "Now, this bodysuit is a game changer. For work, you can pair it with slacks and classic pumps. But for a night out, lose the blazer, add some statement earrings, and throw on a pair of strappy heels. Suddenly, you're ready for anything. You can even pair it with jeans for a brunch date. And the best part," Morgan added, as the model turned to give a full view, "is that every piece is designed with the modern woman in mind. We're talking about fabrics that move with you, styles that flatter every body type, and of course, everything is mix and match, so you can create multiple looks with just a few key pieces." She could feel the momentum building. This was exactly how she had imagined it, the hosts enamored with her designs, the audience at home buzzing with excitement, and her message of empowerment resonating with women everywhere. Nancy leaned in closer, lowering her voice as if speaking directly to Morgan's heart. "It sounds like you've really thought of everything. Why was it so important for you to create a collection that empowers women?" Morgan's practiced smile softened into something more genuine. "Because I've been that woman," she said, her voice tinged with sincerity. "I've had those days where you need a little extra boost, where you're juggling 100 things, and you just want to feel good about yourself. Fashion has always been that for me, a way to express who I am and how I feel. Wanted to give that same feeling to other women. M by Morgan is all about reminding women that they are powerful, beautiful, and unstoppable." As the segment drew to a close, Nancy wrapped it up with her usual charm. "Morgan, Julia, thank you both so much for being here and sharing these incredible looks with us. I know our viewers are going to love M by Morgan. Also, check her out on the show Ties on Thursday nights on BTV. Morgan and Julia exchanged a look, one of shared accomplishment and excitement. This wasn't just about clothes. It was about making a statement, about helping women everywhere feel empowered through what they wore. As the cameras cut, Morgan felt a wave of relief and exhilaration wash over her. She had done it. She had brought her vision to life, and the world was beginning to see it. With Julia by her side, offering her expert tips, the collection felt complete, like a true reflection of who Morgan was and what she stood for. Walking off the set, Morgan couldn't help but smile. This was just the beginning of M by Morgan, and she was ready for whatever came next. The launch day of Morgan's capsule collection dawned bright and bustling with excitement. The first morning of sales was a whirlwind as news of the collection spread rapidly. Orders flooded in, and within hours, the entire line was sold out. Morgan could hardly believe it. Her designs had made an immediate impact, resonating with so many people. As the day unfolded, her phone buzzed continuously with notifications. Fellow industry friends, celebrities, and influencers were posting about her collection, congratulating her on her success. The outpouring of support was overwhelming and affirming. She scrolled through Instagram and Twitter, where photos of her designs, taken by excited buyers and fans, were being shared widely. Julia, ever the enthusiastic supporter, was among the first to post about the collection. Her caption was filled with praise and excitement. So proud of Morgan Smith for her incredible capsule collection with Celio. The designs are as stunning as she is. Congratulations on a sold-out launch. #fashionista#M by Morgan. The congratulations kept pouring in, each one adding to the glow of Morgan's achievement. She was thrilled to see how her vision had resonated with so many people. In the evening, Rick surprised Morgan with a celebration of his own. He had arranged for a celebratory dinner at a chic Boston restaurant, a place known for its exquisite cuisine and elegant atmosphere. The evening was filled with laughter, clinking glasses, and heartfelt toasts. Morgan's friends and co-workers on Tees congratulated her on the success of her collection, and the sense of camaraderie and joy was palpable. Rick raised his glass during a toast. To Morgan, congratulations on a phenomenal debut. Your hard work and vision have truly paid off. Here's to many more successes to come. The room erupted in cheers, and Morgan felt a deep sense of gratitude and happiness. She glanced around at her friends, her heart full. The celebration was not just about the success of her capsule collection, but also about the support and love from those who had been with her through it all. As the night wore on, the conversation turned to future plans and dreams. Morgan felt a renewed sense of confidence and excitement for what was to come. She knew that this success was a significant milestone, but it was also just the beginning. When the evening drew to a close, and Morgan and Rick returned to their apartment, she leaned against him on the couch, feeling a profound sense of accomplishment. "This has been incredible," she said softly. "I couldn't have done it without everyone's support, especially yours." Rick wrapped his arm around her, a warm smile on his face. "I'm so proud of you, honey. You've worked so hard for this, and it's amazing to see it all come together. Here's to more. Dreams coming true." Morgan looked at her Instagram, seeing thousands of comments pouring in still. She felt like she was truly on top of the world, her hard work and dedication paying off in ways she had only dreamed of. As she reflected on the day's events, she knew that the journey was far from over. But for now, she was savouring every moment of her well-deserved success.